David Wise is a distinguished video game music composer and is celebrated for his exceptional contributions to the soundtracks of the first two Donkey Kong Country games. These compositions were pivotal in establishing the atmospheric and immersive qualities that have made these games timeless classics. Wise's journey with Rare, the prominent British game development company where he worked, began in the early 1990s. Rare had just recently partnered with Nintendo to develop a brand new Donkey Kong game for the Super Nintendo. This ambitious project aimed to rejuvenate the Donkey Kong franchise by combining cutting-edge graphics and sound, utilizing Rare's innovative Silicon Graphics or SGI technology for advanced 3D modeling and rendering. The vast technological constraints of the Super Nintendo presented a significant challenge for Wise. The console featured an 8-bit Sony SPC700 sound chip with only 64 kilobytes of RAM, dedicated to audio. These limitations required Wise to be exceptionally creative to produce high-quality sound. He extensively utilized samples, which are short digital recordings of real-life instruments, compressing them to fit within the stringent memory constraints on the console. Wise's adept use of these samples allowed him to create a rich and diverse auditory palette. Wise meticulously blended various samples, including real-world sounds and synthesized tones, to craft unique sound textures that evoked the desired atmosphere for each level. To create and manipulate these samples, Wise used an array of hardware and software tools. He utilized synthesizers such as the Korg Wave Station and the Roland JV1080, which were instrumental in crafting the unique sounds that defined these games' soundtracks. Additionally, proprietary software tools developed by Rare in-house were employed to program the music into the Super Nintendo's hardware, ensuring that it played back correctly within the game's engine. This technical expertise allowed Wise to overcome the hardware limitations of the SNES and produce a soundtrack that was both complex as well as captivating. Each musical track in Donkey Kong Country was designed to enhance the environmental themes of the corresponding levels. For instance, Aquatic Ambience, one of the series' most iconic tracks, employs soothing ethereal synths to evoke the sensation of vast underwater exploration. This track's gentle, flowing melodies create an immersive experience that perfectly complements the serene underwater levels of the first game. Similarly, and just as if not more popular, Stickerbush Symphony in Donkey Kong Country 2 is renowned for its tranquil and introspective quality, harmonizing beautifully with the floating bramble stages in the second Donkey Kong Country game. These compositions are characterized by their ability to transport players into the game's world, enhancing the visual and gameplay experiences with their atmospheric depth. David Wise's thematic cohesion is evident across the soundtracks. Each piece is carefully crafted to reflect the specific environment and narrative context of the levels. Another example being the track Forest Interlude, which is one of my favorites. It uses a combination of ambient sounds and gentle melodies to evoke the serenity and mystery of the forest levels. The use of natural sound effects such as bird calls and rustling leaves enhances the sense of being in a living, breathing forest. The attention to detail in matching the music to the environment helps a great deal in creating a more immersive and cohesive gaming experience. Another standout track, which is arguably my favorite, is Gangplank Galleon, the piece that plays as you're defeating King K. Rool at the end of DKC 1. This piece perfectly showcases Wise's ability to blend different musical styles. The piece begins with a dramatic, almost classical introduction that evokes the grandeur of a pirate ship. It then transitions into a more upbeat and adventurous melody, reflecting the action and excitement of the boss battle that takes place on that ship. This dynamic range within a single piece perfectly exemplifies Wise's skill in creating music that not only complements the gameplay, but also tells a story and evokes a wide range of emotions in the music alone. Wise's musical versatility is evident in his incorporation of a wide array of genres, ranging from ambient and jazz to tribal rhythms and industrial beats. This eclectic mix ensured that the game remained engaging and immersive, with each track adding a distinct flavor to the levels. The diversity of styles not only kept the auditory experience fresh, but also matched the varied environments and challenges presented throughout the game. Tracks like DK Island Swing feature catchy, upbeat melodies that capture the adventurous spirit of that first game, while others, like Cave Dweller Concert, utilize more somber tones to evoke a sense of mystery and exploration. Another one of Wise's key compositional techniques was the use of multi-layered compositions. By layering different instrument tracks, he created dynamic and evolving soundscapes. This technique allowed him to maximize the impact of each piece despite the Super Nintendo's limited audio channels. The layers would come in and out, adding complexity and depth to the music, which kept it interesting and engaging throughout the game. Memorable melodic hooks were a staple of Wise's compositions, making sure that the music was not only atmospheric but also memorable and emotionally resonant. These melodic hooks played a crucial role in making the music stand out and become ingrained within the memories of players. Collaboration was another important aspect in David's work on Donkey Kong Country. He worked very closely with the game designers and the artist as he was crafting the music to make sure that the music matched the visual and gameplay experiences. This collaborative process involved frequent adjustments and refinements based on feedback from the development team. Wise's ability to integrate feedback and iterate on his compositions ensured that the final product was cohesive, immersive, and seamlessly blended the game's narrative and aesthetic. David Wise's innovative approach extended to his ability to evoke emotion and create memorable experiences solely through his music. He was adept at using the limitations of the Super Nintendo as a creative tool rather than a hindrance. For instance, he employed advanced techniques like using echo and reverb effects to give the music a sense of space and depth and scale that belied the technical constraints of the hardware. These effects were meticulously crafted to enhance the player's immersion, making them feel as though they were truly exploring the lush jungles, deep oceans, and treacherous caves throughout Donkey Kong Island. The cultural impact of Wise's music is evident in its influence on subsequent generations of video game composers and musicians. The soundtracks of the Donkey Kong Country series are often cited as benchmarks for excellence in video game music composition and music composition in general. Wise's innovative use of sampling and his ability to create immersive, emotionally resonant soundscapes have inspired countless artists in the field. Furthermore, the music has remained relevant and beloved over the decades, frequently featured in retrospective remixes, and even the beloved Internet Checkpoint. Link to that is in the description. David Wise is an absolute genius, there is no question about that. His creation of the music for the first two Donkey Kong Country games is a testament to his technical mastery, creative vision, passion, and collaborative spirit. By pushing the boundaries of what was possible within the strict technical limits of the Super Nintendo, Wise crafted a soundtrack that significantly contributed to the lasting appeal and critical acclaim of the Donkey Kong Country franchise. His work has left an indelible mark on the world of video game music, influencing countless composers and continuing to delight fans around the world. Through his dedication and innovation, Wise has ensured that the music of Donkey Kong Country will be remembered and cherished for generations to come. So David, if you're watching this video, which I'm sure you are, why wouldn't you be? Thank you. You created something truly special here that has resonated with millions and millions of us across the world, no matter where we live, no matter our social status. None of that matters because we are all united in this music. And more importantly, in the games that contain it.